Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so, man, Laker fans. Let me tell you something, man. The Boston Celtics are in the NBA Finals, and they didn't have to work too hard to get there. I hear a lot of people saying that narrative is not relevant. You play who's in front of you. They dominated who was in front of them, and they deserve to be there. I've heard people say the opposite, say, "No, this team is trash because who they played is garbage, and they're not really like that. They waltzed through an Eastern Conference." I'm here to tell you, I don't care. They're there. I don't care if it's a cakewalk or not. This is a crisis for our franchise, Laker fans. We just tied up with these guys at 17, and they're about to get 18 right now if Kyrie don't do something to stop it from happening. That's the reality of it. Because we didn't take care of our business, we're not in a position to take care of them in the finals. That's my point of view. Boston Celtics were always destined to run through the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference is historically bad this season. And everybody they ran into was tired and hurt. They ran into nobody. Nobody, man. Everybody in the Western Conference, and I mean everybody in the Western Conference, would have given them a better shot than what the path was that they faced. I don't care what side of the fence you're on as it pertains to that narrative. That is a fact. This is the easiest cakewalk of all time. Not even close. So that is the truth. That's not just my opinion. That's what it is. Ain't nobody gotten an easier path to the finals than these guys. And I tell you what, we should be the team on the other end ready to stop them. It should be us, not Dallas. But because we didn't take care of our business, and because we built our team the way that we did and let so much value go out the window, it wasn't representing the type of talent that we needed on the floor to win. Because we kept a coach around that was no damn good for far too long, we're nowhere near the finals. So if Kyrie and Luka aren't able, I blame us, not them. They don't have a rivalry with the Celtics. That's just the team they got to run into. It could have been anybody out of the East, but it happened to be our rivals. And you trying to tell me that we're not there to stop them from getting championship number 18 when we finally, after all these seasons, after all these damn years, finally got close enough to tie them in championships? We're going to let them waltz in here and get the easiest championship ever known to man? You failed us, Lakers front office. You failed us putting together whatever this is that you call a team that you didn't put together that's supposed to be beating the field, couldn't even match up with the field because you refused to get the size to do it. The NBA, you failed us by making this collective bargaining agreement so ridiculously difficult to build a good team that even when you have certain salary going out, you can't bring back that same salary because of hard cap restrictions. It's cheating. Let me tell y'all right now, two sides had to agree to it, but at the end of the day, it's a poison pill for any team like ourselves who are in an arms race for championships. Meanwhile, an idiot somewhere in the middle of the damn desert can put together 3 superstar players with a no-trade clause attached to the worst one of them. But we can't simply get better. We can't put together something that'll help us. How the hell did your collective bargaining agreement allow for such ridiculousness as the Phoenix Suns? I'm telling y'all, man, those are the 2 reasons why we're not good enough. Because they made it impossible for us to get good enough, and because we didn't make good decisions within those margins. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I was listening to Trevor Lane this morning, and he was breaking down the reality of the circumstances in front of us. It's gonna be hard for us to build anything better than what we have right now because of that horrible agreement. You lose D'Angelo Russell, you ain't gonna basically be able to pay for somebody as good as him. You ain't gonna be able to find somebody as good as him. It's not gonna happen unless you make some ridiculous trade that mortgages half of your damn future. If you let LeBron James go, you still can't put nothing in there. You're just basically a team without LeBron James. Listening to him say that was a nightmare. Listening to him break down the reality of the collective bargaining agreement and how he had strangled us in the building around LeBron James makes me wonder if it was LeBron James and his people who made it so that they had this crap in place right now so that we couldn't move on from him. I'm telling y'all. Because that's who benefits the most from this, if you ask me. Because it would make absolutely no sense for you to start your rebuild right now, based on what it is that Trevor described to us. I knew it was bad, but I didn't quite understand how bad it actually was. Essentially, you could let LeBron walk and suck for it. You can't get nobody in place. Because even if you let him go, you still, because of how this thing is set up, aren't going to be able to bring in the requisite amount of money that he's leaving on the table. Because of your hard cap situation and how they don't even allow you to go over the hard cap. They don't even allow it. Even if you wanted to. It's like, bro, what kind of clutch, beneficial crap is this? Who okayed this nonsense? That's my question. Which one of you bozos sat in the office for 16 hours and said, this is the crap we're going to say yes to? Because this is garbage. I get it. You want parity amongst the league. But that's not what this is creating. This is making it impossible for a team to move on from something that maybe isn't their benefit to do so. Best benefit to do so based on the timeline. And who were they probably thinking about trying to screw over when they came together with this crap? The Lakers. Even if they move on from Bron, they're not going to be able to, because quite honestly, we've set it up so that it doesn't make any sense by the numbers. You got to move on from Bron and AD. In other words, they're forcing us into a full rebuild, unless we want to continue going forward with the not good enough crap that we got. Like I said, people, I've been talking a lot about what I want to see this team to, but when you start listening to what the details are, the collective bargaining agreement and how it affects us, even the stuff that I've been talking about all summer isn't actually possible because of how Laker unfriendly this actually is. This is a nightmare. They made it impossible to rebuild. And you know you're not good enough to win, so what does it strangle you into? Mortgage you more of what you have so it can get close enough to good enough. Because otherwise it don't make no sense, and then this guy ends up making it make sense for him to dart for it not making sense, if that makes any sense. In other words, you're going to mortgage more picks because you're going to want to keep LeBron James, because losing LeBron James doesn't necessarily mean you're forced into a successful rebuild. It forces us into a position to where either you mortgage more of your stuff or you're not good enough to make this guy want to stay. And him leaving doesn't equate to him leaving. It equates to you still not having enough cap space to do what it is you need to do. This was meant, and when I say meant, I mean meant to keep us from getting a championship. I think they were thinking about us. I think all 29 of them evil ass teams were thinking about us. Like, how can we keep LeBron James and the Lakers from getting the next championship? Well, we could stranglehold them into mortgaging their entire future to get close enough, but they'll never quite get good enough based on how things are right now. Let's look at their books right now. Okay, this is what they need to do to get better. Let's make that not possible. This is what they need to do to keep LeBron hanging around. Let's make that something that they are forced to do too much in order to accomplish. And as a result, we're looking at the Celtics getting the easiest path to a championship, and the Lakers far, far away from even being able to get close enough to one way or another. And if we're going to get close enough to one, we have to secure that all of these asshole teams are not going to be able to see us in the playoffs in the future because of it, because we're going to mortgage away everything that would otherwise get us the talent necessary to be competitive in the future to do it. That's the reality of the Lakers situation. They conspired against us, Laker Nation. That's what I believe took place there. All them teams said, we don't want the Lakers to win it. We don't want the Lakers to pass the Celtics in championships. And we want the Celtics to have the lead on the Lakers at all times. Because if they are the top of the mountain, then blank, 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 whatever they think it is. They already got more wins than everybody else. They already got the best sunshine than everybody else. We can't let them think they have more championships than everybody else. So let's force feed a collective bargaining agreement process in place that doesn't allow for them to get good enough unless they do something that doesn't help them in the future. The jealousy is real, man. The Laker hate is real. Laker tax is a lot more expensive than we ever thought. And I'm telling you right now, the Lakers should make life hell on every last one of these teams in the future. Any one of them that did this, we should make life hell on all of them. Don't give nobody no good trades. Don't take the foot off the gas on nobody. Dunk on the way out the door, even if we're up by 70 against everybody in the league. That's how I feel right now. Because they all conspired to agree to this crap. And the only team that really hurt is us. If you ask me, ain't nobody else really hurt by this. Most of them teams got enough young talent to see them through this short period of time. We're the one with the 40-year-old guy. We're the one that's already mortgaged half of our future already, trying to keep him happy. This collective bargaining agreement was only supposed to be for 2 years max. You understand what I'm saying? They can reconvene at the end of this upcoming season. Who does it really affect? Us. Because ain't nobody else in this situation for it to slightly pivot just the right way to keep them from being good enough to win a championship or keep them from being able to rebuild properly if necessary. So everybody else either got what they need or not good enough, but will be when the next collective bargaining agreement comes around. They don't have to be affected by this timeline specific. Just us. Maybe the Clippers too. I can argue the Clippers getting kicked around by this one a little bit. But it's meant to hurt the Lakers, if you ask me. It's meant to keep us from being good enough. And so I'm just frustrated with that, man. I woke up this morning and listened to what he had to say. I'm like, yo. And it clicked in my head. Yo, they screwed us. All these jealous ass teams that weren't happy because we were the team that was able to make it through the bubble. All these jealous ass teams are unhappy because they cities ain't pretty as ours. Because the sun don't shine very bright over there and nobody want to play over there. Nobody trying to force their way to their teams. How can we make it have more parity? There ain't no damn parity. You just want to keep the Lakers out of it. Just be honest. Be honest, NBA owners. Y'all didn't care nothing about no parity. You just want to make sure the Lakers don't win. Fess up. Be honest. That's what I want to say about these NBA. Guys like Adam Silver talking about, I don't want to see a dynasty anymore. No, you don't mind a dynasty. You just don't want it in LA. You just don't want LeBron James to benefit from it. Or maybe you do. Maybe the only way you want it to succeed is if LeBron James benefit from it. Because it does look kind of Bron friendly in a way. Because his timeline gets protected in the sense that it forced the Lakers to do everything he wants that we don't want to do for him in order for us to be even close enough to good enough to win a championship. That's what it seemed like to me. It's garbage. Whatever the case may be, I'm irritated. And I just want my revenge on the whole damn league. The whole league. Every single one of you teams. All of you. Ops. Every last one of you. That's how I feel. Anybody that agreed to this collective bargaining agreement. Ops. Because it doesn't allow us any path to doing anything but mortgaging more picks to get some goofy ass superstar that ain't gonna be good enough to win nothing. And we know it, forcing us into a situation where we have a 3-star lineup and no bench, which we know damn well doesn't work in today's NBA. You had better have depth or you getting knocked off. And you look at the Celtics, somehow, some mysterious way they end up with Drew Holiday. How the hell did they get Drew Holiday? Can somebody please explain to me how what they had allowed them to grab a player like that? What's up with Portland, man? How much they pay you on the side to do a deal like that made it so that they so propped up to get a championship right now? Because we know damn well you took on two of the most injury-prone basketball players on the planet. I could argue the thing that was keeping the Boston Celtics from being a champion was the fact that they had Brogdon and Robert Williams on the roster set to miss 100 games a season, and it's only damn 82 games a season. That's how often they're hurt. And you brought them into your rebuilding situation, and who cares if they were hurt? You're rebuilding. And that's what you gave a Hall of Fame point guard, one of the best defenders we've ever seen, to the Boston Celtics when they already had Derek White, already had freaking Porzingis, already had Brown on a $300 million contract. How the hell are they able to have Brown on a $300 million contract and 3 other All-Stars, fam? And you telling me the Lakers can't move on from D'Angelo Russell to get anybody as good as D'Angelo Russell because we can't afford it? And these assholes got Jaylen Brown, their number 2, on a $300 million contract? Make it make sense. Nobody see nothing wrong with that? They about to play Jaylen Brown $400 million. Jason Tatum probably $400 million. That's almost $700 million of 2 players. And they still got Derek White. They still got Drew Holiday on a max contract, 150. How the hell do they have all this cap space, ladies and gentlemen? And don't give me nothing about no freaking bird rights. Larry Bird rights. Literally. Because it's meant to make the Celtics as good as they are. And that's why they goofy asses in the finals right now. Because they've had a souped up basketball team. Somehow, fam. This is bogus. And the more I look at that cakewalk of a season that they just had, running through the easiest Eastern Conference ever known to man, the easiest playoff experience ever known to man, with the most souped up, improbable cap situation fit together, known to this entire process. How the hell are they here? Wasn't it just 2 years ago that they found out that one of them officials was a Celtic fan? Wasn't it just 2 years ago that we found out people were propping things up for this team? And you want me to think that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are good enough to get over the hump when they need all this to help them? People talk about how much help LeBron needs. How much help does Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum need? You understand what I'm saying? You want me to congratulate them? F them. That's how I feel about them. Congratulating the Boston Celtics. Not in this lifetime. All I ask is that Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic humiliate them. That's all I ask. Just like Golden State did a couple years ago. Humiliate those bastards. Tell you right now, man, that's exactly how I feel. I'm biased to the core. I ain't rooting for nothing in regards to Boston Celtics. I don't care what's going on around the team. Never rooting for them. Rest in peace, Bill Walton. Even that can't make me root for the Celtics, not even for a quarter. I don't want them to get a single basket. You understand what I'm saying? People talk about how we hate the Clippers. They got a healthy disrespect for the Clippers. I don't like the Clippers at all. I would love to see them fail too. But if there's any comparison, if I have to choose a team, I'm going to choose the Clippers like they're the Lakers before I root for the Boston Celtics to win anything. That's what I got to say about the Celtics being in the finals. F them. I hope they lose every single game they play in for the rest of eternity. That's my attitude about the Celtics. And I could care less who play for the team. It could be my dad on the team. I'm still rooting against him. It could be my son on the team. I'm still rooting against him. You understand what I'm saying? That's exactly how I feel about the Boston Celtics. And I feel bad for Drew Holiday because I know somewhere in his heart he feels the same way. That's a Laker fan. His whole family's a Laker fan. And he got to help hoist a trophy for that evil franchise. And they're evil fans. And they're evil referees that happen to be fans. Yeah, right. I feel for him. That's his legacy. He won one with Milwaukee, and it likely will win one with the Celtics if Kyrie don't stop him. From the Laker organization, you made decisions. You made decisions that did not work in your favor, so you could not overachieve. The path that the Celtics had, if you would have had that path, you'd be in the finals too. Hell, if the Clippers had that path, if OKC had that path, if anybody had that path, they'd be in the damn finals. You can find the Rockets ain't even in the playoffs. If they had that path, they'd be in the finals. It's a joke. If anybody was able to make a lopsided trade where they trade away two of the most injury-prone players they could find for a Hall of Fame point guard, you'd be in the finals. Because those type of trades don't necessarily come most of our way. Now, does it, NBA? No, it came their way, though. This season, when the East was absolutely soft as it's ever been. As meek as it's ever been. You respect the Celtics. Not at all. Not at all. And I still don't think they handled certain situations very well. Isaiah Thomas's situation, I thought they did him pretty damn dirty. That was pretty damn dirty. That whole situation with the coach, they never really actually had the answer for how they botched that and tried to cover that up in the way that they did. We never even heard anything else about it. You gonna let them hoist the championship 2 years after doing that, NBA? And let them get lopsided trades for how, am I supposed to forget how that went down? I don't know, man. I'm not saying the Lakers handle everything very well either. We ain't exactly angels in that area. But just saying. I'm just pointing it out. You know, players, look, there are players on the Celtics that if otherwise were on a different team, I wouldn't have a problem with. But since they're on that team, I don't like none of them. I don't like none of them. And since when did they start giving away conference finals MVPs? I don't. Is that the first year they did that, or did they do that last year and they got? I didn't watch. That might have been what it was because I didn't watch the Eastern Conference Finals or the Western Conference ceremony last year because obviously my team was getting knocked off last year, and the Heat. I just was not very interested in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So maybe they did that last year. But this was my first time seeing them give that trophy away. I wasn't aware they even did that. So yeah, man, when it comes to the Celtics, man, there's no team in sports that I want to see lose more. No league, nowhere. They have to lose every year, or it's a failure for the Lakers. And if the Laker organization and front office doesn't understand that, then they're the wrong people for us. Anytime they're in the finals and we're not there to meet them, we fail ourselves double time. And if they get a championship, that's our failure. And I want everybody to know that's exactly how I see it. That's our failure. It ain't gonna be Dallas' fault that they didn't stop them. We supposed to stop them. Just like every time we get there, I'm sure they feel the same way. They're supposed to stop us. And they have failed over and over again at that. Might I point out. So yeah, man. If people want to say I'm salty, that's fine. I respect the rivalry. In a way that I don't think Laker Nation in this era apparently does. Because I don't see the urgency about this. I'm not seeing the urgency. Y'all understand what this means? You may never catch up to the damn Celtics. That's what this means. That Tide was as good as it was going to get in regards to championships for which we're trying to chase down and surpass these guys. Tying them was as good as it was going to get in my lifetime, apparently, because my front office and this league with this bad collective bargaining agreement weren't going to allow for anything better. Meanwhile, the Celtics are getting every cakewalk trade, cakewalk referees, cakewalk path, anything that can make it soft enough for these guys to win a championship just happen to be in place right now. Just happen to be in place. And y'all think I'm cool with that? Y'all think I ain't gonna say nothing about that? Y'all ain't been following BDL 44 if that's the case. Celtic hate, man. I do not like them. You understand what I'm saying? At all. And we got to do something about this. We got to get a championship next year if they get one this year. I don't care how we get it, by hook or crook. I don't care if you got to pay every referee to cheat the game. You got to tie these idiots up, man. It's your duty. You put on this uniform, you got to have some urgency about that. And if you can't have urgency about that, then you should take off this uniform. If you don't understand that this is the spirit of the Lakers, what we're really about is what it is I just described, and you need to take off the uniform. It's not neutral when the Celtics win. You should be upset. Very, very upset. You think Magic Johnson is chilling right now? You think James Worthy is chilling right now? You think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is sitting back celebrating the Celtics? Ain't no way. This thing is bigger than the era we're in. It's bigger than Bron. It's bigger than Rob Pelinka and Genie. We've been going at it with these guys since the 50s. Since the 50s and 60s, man. And I take that about as seriously as I take my fandom itself. That's what the fandom is all about. It's about being better than them every year. Keeping our foot on their throat every year. I don't care what the rest of the league is doing. I don't care what little rivalry pops up, a little Sacramento Kings, little San Antonio, whatever little team has anything that got to say in a moment. I don't care about none of these little rivalries. None of them really matter, fam. These teams are nothing to us. The only team in this league besides us is the Celtics. I keep telling y'all that. Ain't no real rivalry with nobody else. None of them are on our level and won't get there. You understand what I'm saying? That's a fact. That is what it is. None of them will ever get on our level in any of our lifetimes. It's just them and just us. Your little teams try to get one little championship, two little championships. Congratulations. I ain't hating, but you ain't with us. You don't know what this feel like. You never will. That's what needs to be said, man. So if you want to be familiar with what I'm talking about, you got to be a Laker fan for that. You got to be a Celtic fan for that. If you're a fan of any of them other teams, sit this one out, bro. Sit this. If you're a Golden State fan, sit this out. If you're a Bulls fan, Spurs fan, you on level with one another. You ain't up here with us. This ain't about you, ain't gonna be about you. If you're a team ain't never won a championship, God bless you, brother. I can't relate. This is something else. It's an entirely different atmosphere I'm in when I'm talking like this. We got to stop this team every year. And we failed this year. And that's going to be against us for the rest of our entire lives if they win a championship. No matter what happens after this. You didn't stop them this year. And any year we lost to the Celtics, it's the same thought I have. You didn't beat them that year. You had better come back in your era and beat them. Kobe did. Magic did. We got it back. Anytime they took something from us, we got it back. Every one of the great Laker eras, we got it back. And it ain't just about them doing it against us. Anytime they get one, you better get it back. That's what I demand as a Laker fan. Nothing else. I don't care what is in the way. I don't care. I'm not interested. Because the other eras, they met that. They met that. When it was time for Magic to go get it back, he got it back. When it was time for Kobe and Shaq to get it back, they got it back. Or Kobe and Powell, rather, they got it back. I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't hear no excuses. I don't care if people say, well, it's just too difficult now. I don't care, fam. If you can't do it, somebody else needs to. But somebody needs to do it. And if you're going to put on this uniform, you better know what we're doing here. If you're going to be the front office guy or the president guy or any of these people that represent this team, you better know what we're doing here. If you're going to buy the team from Genie, you better know what we're doing here. Because we demand this. We ain't asking. We're telling you, this is what's required. You understand what I'm saying? This is what is required. I'm not interested in nobody saying it's too hard, or we're comfortable with one championship, or man, do you know how hard it is to do? I don't care, literally. And even some of y'all fans that say, well, man, you're putting too much pressure. I don't care, fam. I've already seen excellence time and time again. I know what it takes. I know what it is. I know what it ain't. If you're not that, go over there. That goes for fans, players, organization heads, everybody. Go over there. These are the standards. This is what it's really about. I ain't sparing nobody, not a soul, not even myself. If this is what it means to be a Laker, this is what you gotta meet. You gotta keep the Celtics out of the championship every single year. If they gonna be in the finals, you gotta be there to match them. You gotta be there to meet them. If you don't do that, you're falling short of what our expectations are. We hoard championship. They are collector's items for us. We collect them like we collect any basketball cards or whatever you collect, Pogs back in the day. Whatever it is you collect, this is what we collect. So if your plan is only going to get us one, you are not doing what we need you to do. Go somewhere else. You excited about getting one? Go to Phoenix. Go to Orlando. Go to Minnesota. They excited about getting one. Don't be here. Go to Sacramento. You happy with an era? Go to Golden State. Go to Chicago. Go to San Antonio. Go to Dallas. Go to Denver. Do not be here. That's not what we're doing. We've been excellent. We are excellent. Ain't no well. It's you failed. LeBron, AD, all y'all. I'm talking directly to you. This is what we own. This is what we've been on for longer than you've been alive, both of you. Get on board. Stop demanding we do stuff that doesn't make us good enough. If you want to do that, go somewhere else. I kid you not, man. This is why it's important that people know what the expectations are of our fan base, from our fan base to these players and to these owners and to these head of the organization and people, everybody in the brass. We demand championships. We're not asking. This is the standard. And multiple eras have delivered. So we're not interested in anyone who's not. If the expectations are too much, go somewhere else. You can even stay in LA. Go to Inglewood. I'm sure Steve Ballmer will be very happy for your lowered standards. He'll pay you all the money in the world. You can have fun. That's what Westbrook want, right? Fun? You got it. Do that shit over there. Do not bring that lack of focus over here. We're not interested in you being too scared to play in our uniform or the bright lights or none of that. We apply pressure because we've exceeded pressure. We mastered pressure many times over. I'm not interested. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not interested. So y'all got to get it together. And if you can't get it together, then like I said, man, the door is open. And I'll tell you something else. I don't care what Genie Bus is doing, with respect. I don't give a damn. I ain't begging nobody to stay here. I'm begging a single soul. I wasn't on board with us begging Dwight. I ain't on board with us begging LeBron. I wasn't on board with us begging Kobe. I ain't begging nobody to be here. If you're wired properly, you're going to be here and you're going to be locked in and with what it is I just described over the last 34 minutes. Salute the Kobe minute that passed about 10 minutes ago, but I'm cooking right now. I'm not interested in begging nobody to stay. I'm not mortgaging my future for none of you future superstars at all. If I have a choice, either you on board with helping us win a championship or you on board with somebody else to which we need to beat you. That's it. Either you with us or you against us. Ain't no two ways about it. And that goes for the next coach. If that's JJ Redick, bro, do you know what you're getting in for? You know what you're in for? These are the mentality of real Laker fans. Not these fake fans that hopped on board 5 minutes ago to know the first thing about what I'm talking about. I'm trying to teach them, and I'm going to teach you. We ain't here to play. I don't think there's a team in the world that has the expectations we have for excellence. Even some of the ones that have won even more than we have, like maybe the Yankees, they don't have the expectations and the demand for excellence like we do. None of them. I don't know who else around the world done what. I don't follow football/soccer at all, so I have no idea. But I'm telling you, they don't feel like I feel about the demand for championships in abundance. So let me be the one, if anybody wants to know, if anyone needs to hear this, let me be the one to say it. We do not expect to fail, ever. If we're rebuilding, then we're rebuilding. I'm not a fool. You're not going to win every basketball game. You don't necessarily want to. But when we have what we have in place to be excellent, we expect them to meet the expectations of themselves, elevated to the level that we have for them. In other words, if you ain't coming in with this mentality, then you're not the right person for this job, man. Do not come here because the sun shines out here. Do not come here because you like the colors and how it looks on your skin. Don't come here because you want to play in front of Bad Bunny and some other superstars. None of that. If that's your mentality, we're running you out of here. This is not what this is. That's what the media may have told you that's what this is. But if you listen to real fans like myself, you'll know that's not what this is. You come here without the ability to perform at a high level in the presence of pressure, and you don't have a wild desire to meet that expectation, you are not the person or people that need to be here. From the top guy all the way down to the final guy on the roster. We're not interested in no Rudy Poo nonsense, man. We're not interested in people who are only interested in their own, name and how things are going to blow up and all that for themselves. We don't have any problem with you succeeding here. As many has been superstars in this uniform. But if you're coming here not to help us meet our expectations, you are going to fail and we're going to murk you. We're going to put life in a space that you don't even want to live it no more out here. You're going to want to leave this place. I'm just telling the truth. You're going to want to leave. So that's the standards of a real Laker fan. That's what we're really here doing. The Boston Celtics being in the finals is insulting if we're not there to meet them and take their chances of winning that championship away from them. It's an insult. It's a slap in the face. It's a spit in the face. You understand what I'm saying? It's nothing worse than seeing what I saw last night. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. I want people to understand that. And they ain't even won the championship, and I'm telling you that was the worst thing I ever seen. Them celebrating the Eastern Conference Finals championship is horrible, man. You got to stop that from happening. The Eastern Conference ain't going to do it, so we got to be the team in the finals to meet them when that happens. And if we're not going to do that, then you're going to have rants like this anytime they make it. Anytime they make it, you're going to hear this type of stuff out of me. Because they ain't never supposed to make it. The Celtics are never supposed to win another championship again, man. I kid you not. The whole league done failed in letting these assholes get in this position. Video 44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.